have to slave night and day for next to nothing pay, so they can't see their way. We don't enjoy equal facility like Pharaoh and company. Brainwashing we say we free. We just can't go this way. We just can't go this way. Please deliver us today. We just can't go this way. And to make them oppress us pay. We just can't go this way. So the children could see their way. We just can't go this way. Suffer like this. You said that you would take care of the poor, just like you did in Egypt. When Pharaoh had the Israelites in bondage, you delivered them. But here again, we are in the same khaki pants. We have those modern Pharaohs who oppress the poor, who represents Israel. They confuse us with so much lies. Not even thinking that we would realize. And if we criticize, we could be ostracized. We don't know who to trust. That's why I say, Lord, please listen to this prayer that comes from the poor. Another Moses again. Oh, we just can't go this way. Please deliver us today. Time to make them oppress us pay. So the children could see their way. Make them get on their knees and pray.
Get up one morning, your elders have something. You don't know how they get it, but you want to use it. But if you ask them old people to get the things what they went through, ask them this any day, and your parents sure to say, black man have to keep on jamming, for black man to get a little something. Make up your mind, brother, that you're able to get a pulley and jam with the devil. Why? Black man have to keep on jamming, for black man to get a little something. Make up your mind, brother, that you're ready to swim offshore and hold your boat steady. Black man have to keep on jamming, for black man to get a little something. So when you're here, you get a little something. With that dragon eye, you keep watching, because I don't tell you already. Black man don't get nothing easy. You get up one morning, and oil money running. How it come you don't know, so that it care how the thing go. But if they read about Uriah, they wanna find out the pressure. How we get so much old hell to get a penny from TLL. Black man man have to keep on jamming. For black man to get a little something, you got to take up your own cash money, pay people for your own refinery. Black man have to keep on jamming. For black man to get a little something, make up your mind to be a magician, to make money out of scrap iron. Black man have to keep on jamming. For black man to get a little something. So when you hear you get a little something, with that eagle eye you keep watching, because I don't tell you already, black man don't get nothing easy. I say we got up one morning, independence happening, getting the thing come easy. Now they're taking liberty, but if they know about petition, we are to send to England for some woman to tell we in this colony free. Black man have to keep on jabbing, for black man to get a little something. You got to go to conference in England to get independence in your own land. Black man have to keep on jamming, for black man to get a little something. People hold you, humiliate you, turn on and sell you, and then they free you. Black man have to keep on jamming, for black man to get a little something. So when you hear you get a little something, with that dragon eye you keep watching, because I don't tell you already, black man don't get nothing easy. So when a black man gets something, he got to start thinking. You get it there easy. You got to practice economy. From getting licks from the slave master to become the land owner, brother, is a terrible journey. Back with plenty brutality. Black man have to keep on jamming, for black man to get a little something. You got to rise up, you got to stand up, pick up your mind, you will always stay on top. Black man have to keep on jamming, for black man to get a little something. You got to go to conference in England to get independence in your own land. Black man have to keep on jamming, for black man to get a little something. You got to take up your own cash money, pay people for your own refinery.
Go placidly amid the noise and haste, and remember what peace there may be in silence. As far as possible without surrender, be on good terms with all persons. Speak your truth quietly and clearly, and listen to others, even the dull and ignorant. They too have their story. Avoid loud and aggressive persons. They are vexations to the spirit. If you compare yourself with others, you may become vain and bitter, for always there will be greater and lesser persons than yourself.
You are a child of the universe, no less than the trees and the stars. You have a right to be here, and whether or not it is clear to you, no doubt the universe is unfolding as it should.
Enjoy your achievements as well as your plans. Keep interested in your own career. However humble, it is a real possession in the changing fortunes of time. Exercise caution in your business affairs, for the world is full of trickery. But let this not blind you to what virtue there is. Many persons strive for high ideals, and everywhere life is full of heroism. Be yourself. Especially do not feign affection. Neither be cynical about love, for in the face of all aridity and disenchantment, it is as perennial as the grass. Take kindly the counsel of the years, gracefully surrendering the things of youth. Nurture strength of spirit to shield you in sudden misfortune, but do not distress yourself with imaginings. Many fears are born of fatigue and loneliness beyond a wholesome discipline. Be gentle with yourself. You are a child of the universe. No less than the trees and the stars. You have a right to be here. And whether or not it is clear to you, no doubt the universe is unfolding as it should. Therefore, be at peace with God, whatever you conceive Him to be, and whatever your labors and aspirations in the noisy confusion of life. Keep peace with your soul, with all its sham, drudgery, and broken dreams. It is still a beautiful world. Be careful. Strive to be happy.
You are a child of the universe, no less than the trees and the stars. You have a right to be here. You are a child of the universe, no less than the trees and the stars. You have a right to be here. You are a child of the universe, no less than the trees and the stars. You have a right to be here. You are a child of the universe.
Keep me as the apple of thine eye. Hide me under the shadow of thy wing. O Lord, my Savior. It's so hard to deal with personal struggle. So sad when you feel alone in your trouble. It's real hard when you want to talk to a brother. It's so bad because of how some look at you after. So Jesus, come and be while you fix it. Come and be while you fix it. Come and be while you fix it. Jesus, come and be. Come and be while you fix it. Come and be while you fix it. Come and be while you fix it. Jesus, come and be. Cover my head. Satan want me dead. Cover my back from human attack. So Jesus, come and be while you fix it. Come and be while you fix it. Jesus, come and be while you fix it. Jesus, come and be. People see you smile, but don't know the hurt that you're feeling. Even as God's child, at times your heart does be bleeding. Where can you go when you're really looking for healing? Who know how to flow when your soul needs some restoring? So Jesus, come and be while you fix it. Come and be while you fix it. Come and be while you fix it. Jesus, come and be. Come and be while you fix it. Come and be while you fix it. Come and be while you fix it. Jesus, come and be. Cover me home from evils unknown. Cover my feet so I'll never retreat. Oh Lord, come and be while you fix it. Come and be while you fix it. Come and be while you fix it. Jesus, come and be. Cover my brother, cover my sister, them who under pressure. Cover the preacher, every church worker, the young believer. Cover the worship leader and intercessor, every gospel minister. Cover. Jesus alone is the one who has the real answer. The one on the throne is the true and loving Father. He will hold your hand and keep you from going under. He will make you stand and let you know He's a fixer. Come and be while you fix it. Come and be while you fix it. Jesus, come and be while you fix it. Jesus, come and be. Come and be while you fix it. Come and be while you fix it. Come and be while you fix it. Jesus, come and be. Come and be, man. You know the struggle sometimes. cover me mouth, that the wrong thing wouldn't come out. Oh Lord, cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover the Christian in the midst of aggression with the power of your right hand. Jesus, cover, cover, cover them helpless children. Jesus, defend them. Send help from heaven. Jesus, cover, cover, cover all them radio stations that blessing the nation. Grant divine protection. Jesus, cover, 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 cover me, cover me.
Truer words were never spoken. The less you associate with some people, the more your life will improve. Anytime you tolerate mediocrity in others, it increases your mediocrity. An important attribute in successful people is their impatience with negative thinking and negative acting people. As you grow, your associates will change. Some of your friends will not want you to go on. They will want you to stay where they are. Friends that don't help you climb will want you to crawl. Your friends will stretch your vision or choke your dream. Those that don't increase you will eventually decrease you. Consider this. Never receive counsel from unproductive people. Never discuss your problems with someone incapable of contributing to the solution, because those who never succeed themselves are always first to tell you how. Not everyone has a right to speak into your life. You are certain to get the worst of the bargain when you exchange ideas with the wrong person. Don't follow anyone who's not going anywhere. With some people you spend an evening. With others, you invest it. Be careful where you stop to inquire for directions along the road of life. Wise is the person who fortifies his life with the right friendships. If you run with wolves, you will learn how to howl. But if you associate with eagles, you will learn how to soar to great heights. A mirror reflects a man's face, but what he is really like is shown by the kind of friends he chooses. The simple but true fact of life is that you become like those with whom you closely associate, for the good and the bad. Note, be not mistaken. This is applicable to family as well as friends. Yes, do love, appreciate, and be thankful for your family, for they will always be your family, no matter what. Just know that they are human first, and though they are family to you, they may be a friend to someone else and will fit somewhere in the criteria above. In prosperity, our friends know us. In adversity, we know our friends. Never make someone a priority when you are only an option for them. If you are going to achieve excellence in big things, you develop the habit in little matters. Excellence is not an exception. It is a prevailing attitude.
Yes. Let me say a special hello to all the WZYE 95.9 FM listeners, of course, ladies and gentlemen. It's in the village with the Dad Triplets on WZYE 95.9 FM. And of course, we come to you every Tuesday and Thursday from 7 to 10 p.m. That's Tuesday and Thursday from 7 to 10 p.m. That's TNT time, 6 to 9 p.m. USA time. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, we welcome each and every one. Doesn't matter what color t-shirt you have on. You have on a purple t-shirt, a burgundy t-shirt. Each and every one is welcome in the village with the Dad Triplets on WZYE 95.9 FM. Doesn't matter what planet you're from. They're from Mazatanias, Venerianias, Sonaranias. Each and every one is welcome in the village with the Dad Triplets on WZYE 95.9 FM. And let me bring in one third of the Dad Triplets. The man himself, the one and only, Uncle Tommy. Tommy, how are you?
Good evening and a happy new year to you and everyone in the village, especially our good friends like Nadia and Rose and Rennie and so many to mention. But it's a wonderful time to be here. It's 2024 and there are those who didn't make it this far. To those especially to the Silver Fox family. Condolences. That's all I have to say, and we'll take it from there.
Yeah, Tommy. Yeah, we got to say that, with the passing of Hochul Charles and then the passing of, former Prime Minister Basdio Pandey, you know that you are a popular prime minister when ABC News did an article on Basdio Pandey. So ABC News did an article entitled Basdio Pandey, Trinidad and Tobago's first prime minister of Indian descent, dies. It goes on to say Basdio Pandey, former prime minister of Trinidad and Tobago, who was the first person of Indian descent to hold that position, has died. He was 90. Pandey died on Monday, surrounded by his family, according to a statement that his daughter, Michaela Pandey, posted on social media. Quote, he passed with his boots on, keeping everybody around him on their toes with his wit and humor, she wrote. Pandey served twice as prime minister from 1995 to 2001, following key elections that marked a turning point for the Indo Trinidadians who lived on the Twin Nation Island, whose population is currently 35% East Indian and 34% African descent. Pandey served twice as prime minister.
The second stint was short.
Second stint was short.
Yeah,
Okay,
he did the full
right.
5 years and then a short stint thereafter.
Okay. What? Tommy, I don't remember. Why was that?
Well, what I'm trying to see if I can remember exactly
Yeah,
what.
I don't remember. I know when the election was over, there was a tie, and the president at the time, A.N.R. Robinson, says due to moral and spirituality, something along that line, moral and spiritual values, he named Manning the prime minister. So I'm wondering if it was the election went over into 2001.
Something, something. The details I don't remember, but I know that he got a full 5 year term
Right.
and a
Mhm.
short stint for the next.
Right. I think when the election was over, since there was a tie, the president had to make a decision who was going to be the prime minister. And so he might have served some time into 2001, and then the president made his decision because the election would have been in September 2000, right? Something around that time.
Right.
And the president might have taken a little while before he made the decision. So Pandey had to serve as prime minister. So anyway, I think when our resident historian comes in, Albert Montano, anyone else in the chat can update us on if Mr. Pandey actually served twice as prime minister. We can say he served twice because if he won the first one and it was a tie, and he served until the president made his decision, right? So, God rest his soul. Mr. Pandey was a good one.
Oh yeah, no question.
He was a good one. And if you
It
look
was
at the crime statistics under Basdeo Pandey, right? I think the highest under Basdeo Pandey was maybe a 150 or 151, something to that effect. The highest was ever under his watch. So Pandey had things under control. But then again, them was boom time, right?
better times than these times.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Better times than these times. But he did good with what he had. Put it that way. So we have Nadia. Happy New Year to you. Nadia is back with us. Good night, everyone. Blessings. Nadia says Happy New Year 2024. Everyone's blessed and hope all is well. Nadia says good night to you. Blessings. Tommy, good night to you. Blessings. Diana, good night to you. Diana should be joining us in a little bit.
Blessings, Nadia. Blessings and thank you.
To Keisha, Judy, Rose, Lana, Victoria,
Happy New Year to Keisha.
Rennie, Troy, Ken, Ellis, Albert, Hiley.
All of you.
Of course, Bijram.
Happy
Yeah,
New
Bijram,
Year.
welcome. Happy New Year to you as well. Yeah, Basdio Pandya has left us. Good night, everyone. Yeah. So, Tommy, um, we ended the year on a good note, and murders was down 5% from 2022. Which, what's your take on that, Tommy?
I don't have a take on it. I prefer to say nothing than to say the wrong thing.
Nah, not you ain't gonna say the wrong thing, but
But as far as I'm concerned, it should have been done a whole lot less, a whole lot more rather, a whole lot more. It should have been down. We should be we should be 25% down at least.
well, Tommy, I just did a little homework before we came on, right? I did a little homework, right? Before we came on. And you know, Caribbean Soul Good Night. You know, in Trinidad, we always compare ourselves to what's going on in America, what's going on in other parts of the world, right? Right?
True, true.
And we compare ourselves to the best of the best, right? We don't compare ourselves to the worst of the worst.
Nope.
Yeah? Yeah, Mean Gene, welcome. Caribbean Soul, welcome. And Mean Gene, yeah, we full 100, right? So this is what it is, Tommy. The homicide rate in the USA as a whole fell by 13%. The whole of the United States of America, right? So here are some of the numbers from some of the states. New York City, in 2023, there were 380 homicides. In 2022, there was 429. They are down 11%. Now, think about that, Tommy.
And then look how many millions of people in New York City.
8.4 million people. 8.4 million people. And their homicide rate is 380. And last 2022, it was 429, down 11%. Let's go on. Los Angeles, 377 homicides in 2023, 422 in 2022, down 16%. 16%, right? I didn't check the numbers for the population for um, Los Angeles. You can check that for me, Tommy. The population for Los Angeles, right? Chicago, 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 a place where they had a lot of gang violence, all kind of thing in Chicago. Listen, in Chicago, the homicide for 2023 was 599. In 2022, it was 688. They are down 13%. Chicago has a population of 2.6 million people. 2.6 million people. All right? In Houston, the homicide for 2023 was 377 people. in 2023. In 2022, it was 422 people, down 11%. In Phoenix, the homicide in 2023 was 209 people. In 2022, it was 247 people, down 15%. In Philadelphia, 2023 homicide was 403. 2022 homicide was 508. It's down 21%. In San Antonio, 2023 homicides was 150. In 2022, it was 169, down 12%. In Dallas, in 2023, the homicide was 240. In 2022, it was 210. It's up 14%. And finally, in Austin, 2023 homicides was 71. In 2022, it was 71 as well. There was no change. And if we look at New Jersey, in New Jersey, the homicide in 2022 was 224, and they haven't published the numbers as yet for 2023.
But Los Angeles population is 3.849 million.
Okay, there we go. There we go. There we go. So, Tommy, based on that comparison, taking population size into consideration, right? I don't know if, well, Tommy, to be honest with you, it was an improvement. I'll leave it that place.
Yep.
It was an improvement. And
All things considered,
yeah,
because Trinidad is still what it is. It's still a narco state, and there's usually a lot of that type of violence in narco states.
so Caribbean Soul says Wall Street, when the 2000 election was held, UNC and PNM had the same amount of seats, which is 1818. Although the UNC got the majority vote at the time, Ian Arabans made a decision and gave PNM to govern. Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah. Judy, welcome. Happy New Year to you. And yes, Judy, two great men passed on. You know what they say? It goes by three. Okay. Yeah. So I think, Tommy, that we talk about a silver lining. I think that's a silver lining. I think 5% is better than an increase in crime. And maybe this is the start of a downward trajectory as far as crime is concerned in Trinidad and Tobago. And I think that's a good thing for the country.
I would really appreciate if that is the truth, and that becomes a reality by the end of this year, that we have a much larger percentage in decrease.
Mm-hmm. I think it's a start in the right direction. So I don't want to pass judgment to say, well, she said it's 5%. If she said it's 5%, it is 5%. You know? But I think that's the start of something good. You know, and you see, but you know what bothers me, Tommy?
What bothers you?
Is that some of the people when you go along, get along RPNM gang, trying to make an issue about the crime in Tobago and saying that, well, Fali is responsible. Okay. Let's go on that premise, right, Tommy? That Fali is responsible. Okay. If Fali is responsible in Tobago, who's responsible in Trinidad? I'm just going on the premise that the people in the go along get along RPNM gang wants to go along with that. Yeah, we have to Fali this. All right, okay. Then, since he's the chief of the THA, who should be responsible for crime in Trinidad and Tobago? In Trinidad, maybe maybe we could blame the who could we blame, Tommy?
You want to blame Duke?
Yeah. You know what? Yeah. Let me blame Watson Duke.
Yeah. Let me
Yeah, let me
blame Duke.
blame Watson Duke. Let me blame Watson Duke. We're gonna blame Watson Duke for the high crime. Yeah, because we can't blame nobody else. We could blame Fali in Tobago because he's the THA chief. But in Trinidad, we go blame Watson Duke. Yeah, let me put it on Watson Duke. You know? I mean, I don't understand how them things just make sense, you know. Okay, so Caribbean Soul says, Wall Street, I believe we should get a breakdown on how much murders were committed under Earler Watch. Because comparing a 5% reduction is not how work. There have been Gigi, Dan McDonald before her appointment. But I think Caribbean Soul, they're only talking about 2023 though. Correct, Tommy?
Correct.
They're only talking about 2023. I don't think they're talking about, because if you take the other years, there would have been an increase, right? When Earler came in. As a matter of fact, I think we have a chart somewhere here. Let me see if I can find that chart real quick.
Did Nola come in 22?
Yeah, I think she came in 2022, right? Because that is when Gigi left, or did he leave in 2021? I'm gonna try to find that chart.
Gigi was 21, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think Gigi was 21. Okay, I'm trying to find that chart that we had here. Here it is. Here it is. Okay, so let me move that thing right there. So in 2022 was the highest. All right. And then 2023, it was 513. No. 2023 was 576. That wasn't updated then. That was the number at that point in time. So I think it ended up about 576 or 577. Right? So I think Ula might have been. Let me see. When did Ula become commissioner of police? I'm gonna Google that because I don't remember that. When was Ula Christopher? So 1 minute, folks. We're googling. When did Ula Christopher?
When did Nola Christopher become commissioner of police?
Come, commissioner. Police.
When did Nola Christopher become commissioner of police in Trinidad and Tobago?
Okay. Let me see.
February 4th, 2023.
February 4th.
Yeah.
No, but she was appointed acting commissioner in 2022.
Let me see.
Yeah. The Parliament. This is an article in the Express, October 2022. The Parliament last night approved the notification of the President for the nomination of Ula Christopher to act as Commissioner of Police. The acting appointment runs from October 16 to the 2022, when acting Police Commissioner McDonald Jacob will be out of the country. Okay. But then that guy never come back when he came back. When he went on okay, let's see this. Maybe she was appointed. Yeah, it seemed like it's yeah, she was appointed, she was acting commissioner in 2022. So maybe they finally appointed her in 2023. Right? Yeah. That was on the 3rd of February. Right. That's what you said, Tommy?
That's what I said.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Okay. So under her watch, we had the highest murder rate, and then in 2023, it was reduced by 5%. Because in 2021, she had shared it with McDonald Jacob, right? Or Jacob McDonald.
One or the other.
Yeah,
McDonald Jacob, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah. Okay. So there we have it, folks. So I think all in all, I will say 5% decrease is better than a 5% increase. That's how I will address that. So any little increase, I think is a good thing. We could try to spin it however we want, but I think it's a good thing.
Any little decrease is a good thing.
Any little decrease is a good thing. But Tommy, one thing we cannot spin the property tax.
It is what it is, and
It
it's
is what it
here.
is.
It's here now.
It's Tommy, it's interesting, eh? I want to show, I want to show the people of Trinidad and Tobago something, right? It's interesting. Tommy, if you could see on the screen there, it says Schedule 1 percentages for annual taxable value. So, so they kind of confuse with ATV and ARV, right? But ARV is the annual rental value, and ATV is after you take the deduction, you get your annual taxable value, right?
Which
So
is
in the schedule,
which is multiplied by 3% for residential, 5% for commercial,
there we go.
and it says plant and machinery based on building 6%, plant and machinery not based on a building 3%, agricultural 1%.
Okay, good, good. Now let's go to the act itself. This is what the act says, eh? And the, boy, a person sent this to me, trying to prove to me that I was incorrect in how I calculated the tax. So listen to this. The Board of Inland Revenue, in assessing any land for the purpose of this act, may make deductions in advance with respects what they're calling land. They're talking about property, eh?
Right,
Respect to voids and loss of rent equivalent to 10% of the annual rental value given in respect of the land in the valuation rule, right? So the 10% we talked about,
right.
right? Now listen to this, right? The minister may by order increase or decrease the percentage of the deduction and allowances under subsection 1.
Ah,
Think
here we
about
go.
there we
That's the part that people aren't looking at. That's why that 2.7% doesn't compute. It matters not because from 10%, the reduction could be 5% or could be 0%, and it's still 3%.
correct is right, Tommy.
So
Tommy, I
that
gotta take this call. Go ahead.
so that smoke screen that is being bandied about 2.7%. It is not 2.7%, it's 3% of the taxable value, which may have a 10% discount, may have a 5% discount, may have a 0% discount at any given time because the minister can make whatever changes he sees fit as time goes on. So that 2.7% is not is out of the equation. That's just a temporary feel good moment that
Yeah,
is going to be temporary.
yeah. And Tommy, you are so correct, right? And the thing about it, Tommy, is that someone sent me this, Tommy, to prove to me that it's 2.7%, you know.
Just reading that alone, it tells you that 2.7%
It, it,
is an
it,
illusion.
it's an illusion. Absolutely. It's an illusion. So here it is. But Tommy, this is earth shattering now, you know. The minister may by order increase or decrease the percentage of deduction and allowance under subsection 1. The minister, you know,
Meaning you can decrease it to zero.
or you could increase it to 15,
Exactly.
right? You can decrease it to 0,
You
or you
can,
could increase it to 50,
you can decrease it to 20, 25,
whatever he wants to do. And
but the rate is still 3%.
till 3%. And people want to tell me, well, no, it's 2.7%, 2.7%. Hold
Hoodwink.
it's simple. But no, here's the evidence. The evidence is there. So they can do what they want. Remember when Prime Minister Rowley said something, he could hold my bat, he could hold my all these different things.
Right.
Tell me why are we so gullible, Tommy? Why?
That's a
Why?
that's a good question you're asking. But all I have to say is that it's party before country. Anything my party do is right. Good night, Denise. Happy New Year, my dear.
And Tommy, all kind of people told me, all kind of people saying, well, he don't, he this, that, and it's simple, you know. The information is there for you if you will just take the time to do a little homework, you know.
And think,
Think.
just think.
Mhm. Yeah. Uh, Caribbean soul. Caribbean soul. I can tell you, Caribbean soul. All you need to give me is what is the annual rental value, and I don't need nothing else, and I can calculate that person's property tax. So let me take this call. I'm trying to get it.
Yes, indeed. The neighbor who got his property tax, I'd love to see that bill to see what his ARV was assessed at. Caribbean Soul. If you can post that, that'll be nice. Give us some more information so we have something to work with. But the same way they say they can give you a 10% discount, they can adjust the ARV to make that 10% null and void. So it's all semantics and tricks and games, and heaven knows, fuzzy maths and mathsin, all kind of different things that can come into play that would eventually make a lot of people unhappy. And I can assure you that this time next year will be a different story. We'll see. Maybe it looked like we're crying foul or we're crying wolf or whatever you want to, however you want to say it.
All right. All right. So um yeah, Tommy. So Caribbean Soul says, I don't know if he told me his value, his year value came up to 27,000 a year. Probably because he have multiple property. But Caribbean Soul, is that his annual rental value for the year? Because if that is the annual rental value, then I'll calculate the tax. I don't know. I don't know what his tax is. Tommy, we don't know what his tax is, right? But we will calculate his tax for him and show him that it's not 2.7%. So, Caribbean Soul, if that is $27,000 annual rental value, then we'll calculate the tax. So just verify that for me. All right, it's for the year. Okay. So, folks, this is what we're gonna do. We have 27,000, Tommy, minus 10%, like 2,700, right? Right. So 27,000 minus 2,700 equal to 24,300 times 0.03 equal to 729. His tax for the year is $729 divided by 12. His tax will be $60.75 a month. Caribbean Soul, send that to the guy and let me know if that's his tax. Because we use 3%, we use exactly what it told us in the act, right, Tommy?
Right.
We deducted by 10% and we multiplied by 3%. All right? And that is it. JB Apple will. That is it. So the tax is $60.75 a month.
His tax is $729 for the year, right?
$729 for the year. And divided by 12. $60.75 a month. It's very straightforward, You don't have to go through all this thing they're trying to turn all it through, run all it through, take 90% of 3%, which is how they're coming up with this 2.7%. They're trying to bamboozle all you. Or they don't take that so easy now. It's not 2.7%, it's 3%. Simple. Because if it's 2%, 2.7%, Tommy, the tax will be less. All right, Tommy, let's do this. 27,000 minus 2,700 equal to 24,300 times 0.027. The tax will be $656.10 divided by 12. The tax will be
If it was
$54.
2.7. That's if it was 2.7%.
Yeah, 0.027. If you multiply it by 12, divided by 12, you get $54.67.
Either way, it's high.
Either way, it's high. But don't tell the people it's 2.7% because it's not.
It's 3% on on the allowable taxable value, which may be with a 10% discount or 0% discount or whatever he chooses to do as time goes on.
Correct. Yeah. So Caribbean Soul, your person should be paying
$60.75 a month.
Right, $60.75 a month. Simple. Right? And that's what it's supposed to be. They can do they can do all kind of other calculations, whatever they want to do, however they want to bamboozle you. But we know that the formula that we are using, right? It is the formula from the Ministry of Finance. We didn't make this up, And we further confirmed it by going to the act itself. But Tommy, the question is this. Why would the government want to lie to the people about 2.7%? Why?
They're just trying to confuse them, when you really think about it, because the tax on the book is 3% of whatever the taxable value is, whether it's a 10% discount, a 5% discount, or a 0% discount.
It's that simple.
It's 3%.
3%. That
Two-
simple.
2.7 is only a temporary fix because of the 10% discount.
You know how they get the 2.7, right?
Of course.
Yeah. Yep. They're trying to bamboozle you by taking 90% of 3%.
That's right.
You understand? But there are some of us, who don't just take whatever they tell you. And some of you have to start thinking. Have to start to have a growth mindset instead of a fixed mindset. Because whenever they tell you something, you take it and you run with it. Because you're supporting your party. But Tom, you know the worst of the worst, boy?
I think the worst of this is that there seems to be no opposition in that country.
Well, I was going to get to that, Tommy.
Seems as though the opposition is in total agreement with whatever is being done.
The opposition fell down on this. Totally fell down. They fell down. Totally fell down on this. But Tommy, before we go for the break, this is the thing, right, Tommy? If you are a tenant and you are renting, this will have a drastic effect on you too as well,
Of course, that the charges, the tax charges have to be passed on.
So you should be making noise too. Not because you don't have a property. You just sit down there, well, property tax don't affect me. Yes, it does. It does.
Landlord has to pass it on.
Yes. If I had to pay an additional $60, for example, a month, $60, and you are a tenant, you gotta suffer some of that bill. You gotta pay some of that bill,
Of course, you have to offset some of that additional expense.
Yep. Somebody had to pay. Somebody had to pay the piper, Somebody gotta pay the piper. So folks, it's in the village with the Dad Triplets on WZYE 95.9 FM. It's Professor Wall Street, Uncle Tommy and you on WZYE 95.9 FM. Stick and stay. We'll be right back after this.
You're listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. You are listening to WZYE LP 95.9 FM, the most influential name in Caribbean radio in the tri-state area. Broadcasting from East Orange, New Jersey, the most influential name in Caribbean radio, WZYE 95.9 FM.
This is oh Lord, Trinidad and Tobago. This is DJ Bravo. I'm hurting, This is a sad place. My country turned into a sad place. When I look around, it's only sad face. Our country turned into a sad place. All I see in front of me, nightmares turn into reality. Like somebody build a monster factory. Parliament up against parliament economy. But let the moderators in another body in a dream. Somebody girl child missing, another rape again. An next road stain with somebody's sunbrain. Who take the F out of Port of Spain. This is a sad place.
And of course, we're back with you. It's in the village with the Dad Triplets on WZYE 95.9 FM. We come to you every Tuesday, Thursday from 7 to 10 p.m. TNT time and 6 to 9 p.m. USA time. I'm trying to load up another video here, but it doesn't want to load. Let me try again. You know, Tommy, it have some calypso some way back when, that.
Hey, give me a little break here.
Okay. Let me try this one. Let me try this one. Yeah.
Experience stress-free site management at WPEngine.com.
So, folks, of course, it's in the village with the Dat Triplets on WZYE 95.9 FM. We come to you every Tuesday.
You talk about a place where the people are carefree living. It is such a place of fun loving, spraying and petting. Tis the land where people don't care if Ash Wednesday fall on Good Friday. Man, they love the struggle in this happy-go-lucky way. Is Blokorama, Fetorama, and just now is Masorama. So the foreigner come for carnival, and he telling himself after he had a ball. Trinidad is nice, Trinidad is a paradise. Mr. Foreigner, in La Trinity, the people have a carnival mentality. Trinidad is nice, Trinidad is a paradise. They are not serious, very few conscious, so I cannot agree with my own chorus. Trinidad is nice, Trinidad is a paradise. But I hear some people talking about revolution day, changes on the way. They're born in a land, the better parts controlled by the alien. They fill the pockets of Portuguese, Chinese, and Syrian. Trinidadians is who should own land. Now is the time to make the land their possession, but their sense of taste could just trade. Revolution Day, fighting on the way.
And of course, that is the man himself, boy. Brother Valentino, boy. That song will go down in history, boy. Trinidad is nice, Tommy.
It's a
Trinidad is nice.
it has to be if everybody is good with everything.
Yeah, it's a paradise, man. We good with everything, man. We give me property tax. We good with that. And they talk, oh, they don't pay property tax in America. What are you complaining about property tax for? Yeah, we pay property tax. But all of
Nobody nobody ain't complaining about property tax. It's just saying that the scheme seems a little
regressive and oppressive.
exactly.
The scheme is regressive and oppressive. That's what we're saying. You understand? And the people who are the bottom of the sub basement, them should be paying the same thing as the people up in the penthouse. You understand? The reason why you living in the penthouse because you could afford it. The reason why in the sub basement because I have difficulties.
But what's even more frightening about the whole experience is that those in the penthouse complaining and those in the sub basement good with it.
Tommy, I didn't get that, boy. The people in Federation Park complaining and them could afford it, and those who can't afford it telling you, well, what's wrong with you? Or you bring property tax to me. I ready to pay my property tax. I on a pension. I ready to pay my property tax. Boy. Tommy, take it there for a minute. Let me try to see if I can get this young lady to get in here. Take it there for a minute, okay? Let me try
All
to
right. Yeah, well, what we are saying is that we're not against taxes or taxation. It just has to make good sense and also be fair and equitable. How is it the people who use most of the services, which is the businesses, at this point aren't paying? They should be the first people to go to for taxes because they're making profits. Yes, they would have passed it on in the cost of goods and services, but they are the ones who are making the profits. They are better able to afford to pay taxes than the homeowner or the resident or even the renter. But they are not being looked at this time, and they're not. It's not, and we the public, John Public isn't being told when they're going to be looked at. All we know is that for now they are not part of the equation, which makes little or no sense. The first place you go to for taxes is commercial interests, business and manufacturing, and that makes all the sense in the world to me. I don't know. Maybe I'm from a different society where we look at things differently, but that's logical as far as I can see and as far as I know. Something is wrong, as my Chinese friend says. Something is wrong, and we have to get it right. Once and for all, we have to get it right. So that's why we are saying what we are saying. That you don't go to the homeowner, you don't go to the residents first, you go to them last. Because what are the taxes for? Not to provide better services for each community. Who are the big players in the community? The commercial interests. They do more damages to the infrastructure than the regular resident, because most times still they're the ones who own the big vehicles and so on that damage the infrastructure. As far as I know, maybe I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, I can be corrected. I stand corrected. I don't know if I'm overreacting, but I doubt it. I doubt we are overreacting, because my buddies here on the station seem to agree with me that commercial interest is where you look first. manufacturing, service, and so on and so forth and so forth. Are you there, Wall Street?
Yeah, hold on a minute, Tommy. 1 minute. Yeah, Tommy, I'm just trying to help this person here log on.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. We're just trying to get her to log in to the thing here.
Sure.
Yeah. So Tommy, I think Tommy, you raise a point that people think that we don't want people in Trinidad to pay property tax.
No, we are for the taxation. We just need it to be fair and equitable and sensible.
Mm-hmm.
And sensible. And we know that when you're talking about sensible taxes, you go to who can best afford it business wise because they make profits. They're in business to make profits.
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, but it's kind of sad. But Tommy, I think that something that we discussed here that JB Harper is raising, you know what? But let's finish that. Let's finish this discussion before we get to that. Caribbean Soul says when a family can't afford the burden of bill and tax, one service they will cut is internet because they think it's not important livelihood. Okay. When a family cuts internet, they hear and see less of what the government does, bringing us back during equilibrium time. See nothing, have nothing to say. Okay. Yeah, but I got to tell this person they're connected, but I can't see them. So hold on, Tommy. Give me one.
Yeah, Caribbean Soul, you're making a good point.
Yeah, he's making a great point.
Let me go to the chat. JB wants to know who's in charge of for security in Tobago.
The police, the commissioner of police, the minister of national security, and the.
Okay,
But when the licensing officers are to come to Tobago to deal with whatever they have to deal with, it's Trinidad and Tobago,
I see.
right? So, that's what it is.
Fitzy and Ola.
Well, and not just them, but the prime minister is head of the National Security Council.
As far as we know.
So what they should do is put the manpower in Tobago, so Tobago don't have the problem that Trinidad have. I think in Trinidad and Tobago we just play too much blame game, You understand? Because we have people still blaming the UNC from 2010 to 2015 for crime today. 9 years later, we blaming the UNC for crime today.
We can't blame them for crime today. We cannot blame them for crime today.
Tommy, you can't blame them. You telling them when you go along, get along, RP and them gang that. Them saying because them shut down all the security apparatus. All. That's what I tell you, All. That's why we in the problems today.
I have one grouse with the UNC for their time, and that's it. And I've moved on from there. That they had a stellar opportunity to fix that playbook. That's the only thing I would say about them. But other than that, they did well.
Yeah, listen, listen. I'm say this, and I'm gonna say this over and over. Black people in Trinidad and Tobago Many black people in Trinidad and Tobago who vote for the PNM rather suffer under a black prime minister than to prosper under an Indian prime minister. Let me repeat that. Black people, many black people who vote for the PNM rather suffer under a black prime minister than to prosper under an Indian prime minister. And the statistics are there to show it. The statistics are there to show it. I don't have to keep giving you guys these statistics over and over and over, but it's there. It's there. And under Kamala Prasad Besessa, I mean kind of briefcase for the UNC, we like to talk facts, not fiction. We talk facts. Black people was prospering. Eh? Let me ask a question, Tommy. What is the difference between 26% of black people living below the poverty line and 17% of black people living below the poverty line? What is the difference? You help me, Tom. Whatever difference you give me, I will take it. You tell me.
It's 9%.
Okay. I know plenty, right?
It's sizable. It's more than the 5% with the crime reduction.
You know, and people want to talk all kind of things. But you know, it's always interesting, Tommy? When you listen to programs, things to improve the lives of black people who are basically in almost all categories, all economic categories, are at the bottom of the socio-economic ladder. Let me repeat that. In almost all economic categories, they are the bottom of the socio-economic ladder. Yeah? But I want to bring a next point, yeah, Tommy? And Renwick, welcome. Renwick, welcome. Mean Gene says, Tommy,
I agree with him.
what are the big vehicles that ministers are driving that is damaging the infrastructure? Which vehicles is that? You mean the Prado and them?
Yeah, well, they are, but I was more referring to businesses that drive that own all these bigger trucks and so on that put a hurting on the infrastructure. And they are being exempt from taxes at this time when they should be the first people to pay taxes.
And I don't understand, Tommy, why people, especially people at the bottom of the socio-economic ladder, didn't query why they're taxing residential property first as opposed to commercial property tax. Don't care what side of the political divide you're on. People should have been marching up and down the streets, marching in front of the Prime Minister residence, marching in front of the Red House, marching around the savannah. Because the rich again is getting richer, and they are hoping, some people are hoping, right? Wishful thinking that these rich people will help the poor.
But most of all, who's battling for the people? Who's opposing for the people? Who is leading that call for the right thing to be done? Who? Just who?
But you know, Tommy, think about this, right? Don't the citizens can take that upon themselves and call for a march, a property tax march? Citizens.
Who's organizing it? Somebody has to be in charge. Who's
All of them just meet in Savannah.
Yeah, but all of them we just meet in the savannah. Who's the voice? who's directing the play?
Because you know why, Tommy? Then it go be coming to a UNC thing or a PNM thing or you know what I mean? Because sometimes people say, well, is the UNC people who organizing it because they don't like the government. You understand?
I fed up with
So
that.
you have to see if you can try and get someone neutral in order to organize something like this. Because it's not politics, you know. This is not politics. This is economics.
And who's independent?
But they have independent too. I just hear president talk about how independent he is. How come president didn't call for no march? Eh? You remember president would always come here and he say, boy, I get from Uncle Tommy about that president, about independent. But he's an independent PNM. If there is such a thing.
Well, you can't be independent and PNM at the same time.
Why
Is
not?
either independent or you're dependent on either of them?
No, you could be an independent PNM.
That's what you are?
Oh God! Yeah, I'm an independent PNM. Yeah. Eh?
All right.
Yeah, boy. The thing just sad, you know, boy. And the thing about it, Tommy, I would like to hear some solutions, man. We tired give solutions, yeah, you know, but they don't listen to us.
Well, they're not interested.
We tired give solutions. We tired, right? I mean, with this property tax, they could have tell people, you know what? I don't know. When you file taxes in Trinidad, you get deductions.
That's
Eh?
that has to be payroll taxes, that property taxes.
Well, they're already giving you a 10% deduction from the annual rental value. So that could be like filing on your taxes and taking that as a deduction, right? I think that kind of makes sense.
The only how I would see the property taxes can be used for deductions is if it's business wise, if you're generating income.
I
You get
understand.
what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying?
Residential property tax.
But
We
your
don't.
prop-
You
your
have
prop-
an income, you have to deduct your residential property tax.
in the United States, if you have a single family home, it's a different kettle of fish than if you have a multi-family home or if you have a mixed use home.
Yeah, but it depends on the
If you the only way you get to deduct your property taxes is if your property, even though it's residential, if it's being used as a business address.
No, you'd rather use your property tax as a business to deduct the property tax. When we lived in many other places, we deduct our property tax all the time. It wasn't part of our business.
No, so
But you have to itemize. You have to itemize.
yeah,
If you now you know there's itemize and then there's the standard deduction, right?
right, standard deduction and then itemized deductions,
Right.
right?
You can just take the standard deduction, right? Or you could itemize because sometimes when you itemize, it's more than the standard deduction.
Yes, yes,
So
you have to weigh both scenarios.
correct. So if you're itemizing and it's more than the standard deduction, you itemize, you know. But if it's less than the standard deduction, you take the standard deduction, right? So there's benefits to you, you know, whether you want to itemize or whether you want to take the standard deduction. But the property tax goes in as one of those itemized deductions, you know. Let me tell this person. Yeah. So I think, Tommy, the 10% deduction could be considered to be like an itemized deduction because you are getting that off of the top of the annual rental value. So I think that makes sense.
So if you get 10% deduction,
Yeah,
that's an itemized deduction.
right. It's like the same thing because that itemized deduction from your property tax can reduce the amount of tax you pay, or it can give you a refund on your taxes.
If let's say the finance department says that they are taking 10% off, yes, of
Okay.
what you would have normally paid,
Okay.
you are you still allowed to deduct that 10% on your taxes? It seems it doesn't seem so logical.
No, no, no. I think you're talking about Trinidad, right?
Yes,
No, 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 no. I'm saying that you don't need to give them an itemized deduction anymore because you are giving them 10% off of the annual rental value. So instead of giving it to them on their taxes, you are actually giving it to them on their property itself. Now
right.
we have to go a step further and we have to put it in to our taxes when we file our tax returns.
You're talking about in the US.
In the US, yes.
All right.
But in Trinidad, they are giving you a 10% upfront off of the annual rental value. So I
Yeah,
think that's a good thing. But
yeah,
Tommy,
but
next year or so, the minister could reduce that if he want.
yeah, that's a number that we clearly see that can go up or down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but getting back to the ability to deduct what you pay on taxes, the only way I could see that being relevant is if you're doing business from home.
Well, I don't think they should do it in Trinidad though. I don't think they should do it because you're already getting a 10% deduction. So because if you do it and you can file it on your taxes, then you're getting a double deduction.
You double dipping.
Yeah, you're double dipping. So I will agree for them to leave it as is. Right? Mean Gene says ministers are not the ones driving the big trucks. If not trucks, how will they get their commodities to their businesses?
Uh, and the fact that they have businesses and they're moving commodities, are they making profits? Shouldn't they be the first line of person being taxed when it comes to getting money to keep the infrastructure in check? I mean, Gene, am I making sense or am I making nonsense?
No, you're making sense. Commercial property should be the first to be taxed because the
Businesses,
amount of money commercial property tax brings in my estimation, will be way more than residential property.
absolutely.
And don't forget, the commercial property tax is 5%, right?
And the tax base is going to be higher.
Correct is right, right? So when you're taxing a person based on a little 36,000 annual rental value, and you're deducting 10% from that, and then you're coming up with the tax. Small money, right? Commercial property is 5%. But Tommy,
5% of what?
5% of the annual taxable value.
I like that one. ATV.
ATV, boy. Tommy, I like them too bad, you know. There's ARV and ATV, boy. They're confusing you, boy. Conveniently. But Tommy,
Go ahead.
we have to look at this, Tommy. If you have, and I said this over and over, you have a residential property and you have a commercial property on that same land, it's 8% you have to pay, no? 8%, you know. You see that, right?
5 and 3.
5 and 3, you can't get from that. Right? So your tax is not 3%, you know. It's 8%. You have a little 2x4 shack, you're paying 3%. You have a little parlor, you have to pay 5%. No, JB, what you talking about? Caribbean Soul says also we haven't been given a time period after paying property tax. How long does it take to see work in the community? Is it 1 month, 2 months, a year? Caribbean Soul, what's wrong with you? Tommy, you want to put a timeline? What's wrong with you? Boy, when I collect your tax, I'm sure when the result will be. It might be 2 months before the election. You understand, Tommy?
Yep.
2 months before the election. JB Happy said commercial property will be taxed. Yeah, right. Yeah, they will get taxed, man. Good night. Hey, Curtis, welcome. Yeah?
Like,
JB Harper said 5% of annual taxable value. So if I record a loss, I pay no tax. Boss, you, this has nothing to do with whether you win or whether you make money or don't make money, you know. Your annual taxable value is based on your commercial property. You understand? So if them getting the same 10% discount, right? And then you have your taxable value. You multiply that by 5%, and that's what you're getting. That's your tax. Well, Caribbean Soul asked the question to me. Wait, so all those agricultural land government giving out, you now have to pay for it? Well, boss, you have to pay a 1% property tax. That ain't bad though. That's reasonable. That's reasonable. So that's small money. Yeah? But Caribbean Soul, I hope you have a parlor on your land, eh? I hope you have a parlor. If you have a parlor, take all your goods out of that parlor, you know, and tell them that is our outhouse. Tommy, that'll change that parlor into our outhouse, boy. But you're only changing it for when the valuation people come in. You understand? When them
yep.
come, like, what is that? Said I'm an outhouse. You know you could get. I don't know if they still drop them slab and thing in your place, Tommy. You know, because like up in Navantil, they used to give you them slab and them you could put in the outhouse. Remember that?
Yeah, that's long ago. Now it's Fat Boy tanks, I think, that they're using.
Or it's different now? Yeah, but we used to get a little slab and we get we put or we put it in there, we dig we hole, we put it over, we fix it back, and we get a toilet seat and we good to go. So my advice to people with your parlor, take out all your goods in the parlor, put a little, go down by standards, buy a little one of them little, they still sell them, Tommy. You know you can make a fake toilet now. Right?
Yeah.
Because it's commercial tax in your perfume, boy. Well, we shouldn't be laughing, you know, boy. But this. But Tommy and Tommy, we haven't heard anything from the people who cannot afford this property tax.
What we heard was cricket.
Crickets, boy, crickets. That is shocking. But did they say anything in here about commercial property? No, they were very no. They were so. I think this includes commercial property, Tommy. They talk about land. Oh God, Tommy, why?
Well, commercial property is off the chart right now, and it's only when it comes on the chart we'll know about how they're gonna come up with the ATVs.
But we know it's 5%. Anyhow you take it.
Yeah, but what's gonna be the ATV?
Right. Absolutely. So them have to figure that out. Yeah. Let's listen to Janti Lutch Media on property tax. Let's listen to what she had to say.
Those people do not have income, but you're coming out and knock on the door and say, if you were to rent this house, you don't even know if they could pay their mortgage. But you come in and say, you know what, if you could have rent this nice house that you built when you was making money, it would have rent for $20,000. So now pay taxes based on that. It is an absolute disgrace. It is fundamentally unjust and disgraceful to bring property tax on and impose it on our population right now. And who?
Yeah.
Property tax, boy. And Tommy, I think our guest finally. Yeah, I can see you now. I think I see our guest in the background. I can see you. You just went back out. Yeah, Tommy. I think with all the things that are raising in Trinidad, that property tax is something that people are gonna have to pay. And as Tommy have stated many times, we are not against property tax, but it must be equitable and fair. And there is no way ministers, both in parliament, ministers, both in the ruling party and opposition, MPs, by the way, should be paying the same 3% property tax. That just don't make no sense. And I hear people talk about people come to the radio, Tommy, and spending time talking about TD Jakes, and if TD Jakes doing this, and how does that help a poor person? How does that help a sufferer in Trinidad? If we were supposed to come here, Tommy, and dedicate this show to talking about TD Jakes,
how relevant is that to our cause?
Correct is right. How relevant is that to the cause, Tommy? For me to come and waste your time to talk about TD Jakes a million years. Eh? But I want to indulge you all in something real quick, eh? This is real quick, eh? Because one of our friends does always support this fella here. Quickly, let's indulge you guys in this. This is some breaking news.
That issue, and I think it doesn't say in the 14th Amendment.
There is breaking news. CNN's reporting that Maine has removed Donald Trump from the 2024 ballot based on the 14th Amendment's insurrectionist ban. So it literally just broke right now, popped up on my phone. So we covered the story yesterday regarding Michigan and how their state Supreme Court decided to keep Trump on the ballot there. So again, this is all going to end up in the United States Supreme Court, and our prediction is that they're probably going to rule in favor of Donald Trump to allow him on the primary ballots.
Yeah, so I thought.
Well, Donald Trump.
We don't like to spend too much time on Donald Trump. You know
yeah, they're relatively well off.
Yeah.
Where's our guest?
Huh?
Where's our guest?
Yeah, I mean, she trying to log in, but she getting in, but she not putting on her camera. JB Harper, look how I moving to Moruga and plant a garden. Yeah, Miss Williams need IT assistance. I think she gained that. and some could ask for a collection and open a mega church. But you know what? Listen to this. If you all don't know, in this country, if a church owns a property, they don't pay property tax. Right,
That's right.
Tommy?
That's right.
They don't pay property tax. I know people, churches who own some nice property up in the hills up here, and them don't pay no property tax. Yeah. What is that? Look, Hailey. I Hailey say what all the Americans starting to look like little children with full pampers. What do you mean by that? What Hailey mean by that?
I don't know. He alone knows.
Now, if you are seeing, if you are hearing me in the background, I am seeing you. I am seeing you now. Yeah, so fix your camera. Paul, if you hearing me, just wave your hand. Okay, now are you ready? Fix your camera. Okay, so folks, let's bring in our guest, Paul Williams. So, Paul, are you hearing me? Are you hearing me? No. Your mic. Your mic.
Unmute your mic.
Unmute your mic.
Right next to the camera. To the left of the camera is the mic. Unmuted.
Yeah, we're not hearing you. Unmute your mic.
To the left of the camera is the mic. Unmute your mic. Move the arrow to the mic and unmute it. Paul, can you hear us? Paul's not working out. Well, friends, as you see, we're trying to get our guests on, and we're running into problems, but nonetheless, we'll keep trying. Heidi, what did you say there? Heidi says, all the Americans starting to look like little children with full pampers. You talking about the Donald Trump issue? That's what you're talking about, Heidi?
Yeah. I don't know what Heidi. Yeah, her mic is off. Let's see if this one will work. Hold on. Let's try this one. Yeah. Hello. All right. So are you hearing me? Just put a finger up in the air. Are you hearing me? Okay, let's try this now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So open up his screen here.
No, we hearing you. We hearing you now. Are you hearing us?
Okay. All right.
So no, we get enough feedback.
Yes.
Though. I know what it is. Hold on. I got to get
Okay,
rid
so
of
that is because this phone here on. Turn off that one in the back.
Okay. Yeah. Are you
Listening
hearing
to
us
hold
now?
up something. Yeah, I'm hearing you.
Okay.
No, I can't. I can't. Yes. Okay. So I need to rest something. So you ready? Let's ready?
Yeah, we waiting for you. So we wanna
Yeah, Antonia, now I can hardly hear the volume. Okay. Good night to the listening audience, everybody on the village who in the village at this time. We like to say good morning or good evening or good night from St. Vincent and the Grenadines. As you know, my name is Pearl Williams. I'm a Trinidadian that lives here in St. Vincent and Grenadines for the past 30 years. I am the owner of Miss Plus Size Universe International, and it is our 12th year, being this year being our 12th year since we have started this program. So that is my little introduction, Wall Street. Yes.
So this is your 12th year. How did
Yeah.
this program come about? Plus size. What does plus size mean?
Okay. See, from a girl, my mom was very plus size. And, whenever she dressed, she asked us, am I looking good? And she always had this low self esteem. And my mother was a beautiful woman, Wall Street. I mean, if you had seen her, you would have asked her to enter Mr. and Tobago. So
I'm
from a
sure.
child, I mean, I've started at the Modern Business School where I set up Butex International Modeling Agency at the Modern Business School in Port of Spain. And from there, being a former model, I started there, with fashion and so on. And like the designers used to ask me to dress in their clothing and whatnot. I was a past contestant at Miss Independent San Fernando. And I've started from there and built from there and introduced this brand. It's my dream. I saw Donald Trump had Miss Universe in a slim form, but Miss Plus Size Universe, I think that, when I started this brand, it was so timely that plus size women have had tremendous struggle being accepted in society because of their size. Sometimes the stigma and what's not, we've learned that over 600 women commit suicide as a result of their curve and their plus size. People will say to them on the plane, why you didn't pay for 2 seats? Go around, you're so big and clumsy. You don't need here, you think he's a Hollywood star? All of that, and women started losing their confidence. And I felt it was timely to set up a platform for that. Now, when I started, there was no plus size pageants, internationally when I started. Yeah. And so we started speaking to women, set up women conference to speak with women, professional women, and, plus size young girls and boys. And what I found from the school point, from the school perspective where the children were speaking about, you're so fat and clumsy, go and sit down. They cannot participate in sports and whatnot. So they had this sort of stigma, towards people with extra weight. Now, you and I know that it's not only food that makes you fat. Yeah. You inherit that from your parents, it's in your genes. And for some reason, society says no and what's not. But as we speak now, there's a serious issue on obesity throughout the region. And while we understand that we are practicing healthy lifestyle, at the same time, you know, you are more or less promoting women to feel confident in their skin, regardless to whatever, that they must feel comfortable in the skin. So it was a challenge for me to begin. I remember being on the selecting team of Miss Heritage World Pageant in South Africa, where I was given this opportunity to select women. And on that application says no plus size or no curve. There was a particular size that you had to, to in order to participate. And so I came up, with my brand, created, conceptualized, asked for legal advice, get my brand register and so on. So I have started there, in Trinidad and Tobago, and begun to, to continue. Yes, I've done so. My applications are, legally done. My contracts are legally done. I do have, a MDA that the contestants must fill out. But what I am seeing lately is that, the fashion industry for some reason have no certification. People are just setting up little organization, whether they are planning to make monies or whatever it is, and
Pearl,
set up
Pearl,
organization.
Pearl, the person in the
Yes.
background, the person in the background that turn off whatever it is because we hear it.
Yes. Thanks.
Whatever it is in the back.
Yes. Okay. So
Okay.
it's turned off.
Pearl,
Yeah.
we also have with us too, Tommy. He's here with us as well.
Good
Yes.
So I'm
Hi,
evening.
not sure.
Tommy. Good night. Good night, Mr. Tommy. How are you? It's
Good,
nice to
thank
meet you.
you. Same here.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm taking in what you're talking about. So this is an annual event that you have.
Yes, it's an annual event. All
You
right.
must have a big.
So I
You
have
must have a big
started.
network. You must have a big
Yes.
network of people.
Yes. So I've started the pageant in Barbados, the very first pageant. I think that was in 19. I think it was 2017 in Barbados, and after that, I took the pageant to Trinidad and Tobago. We were sponsored by the former government, Kamala Bissessor, who would have given us scholarship for 100, sponsorship for $194,000. Now,
Wait,
when
wait,
that
wait. 1 minute, 1 minute. The UNC
yes,
sponsored for $194,000.
$94,000 from the Kamala Bissessor government, yes.
Okay, all right.
All right. Now, let me indicate how this happened. I was in Barbados covering the CARICOM summit in Barbados. Actually, I was there for other reasons. And the year that Kamala fell sick and they had to rush her through the hospital for what it was dehydration. I would have woke up while I was covering that interview. And she said to me, "You have an accent." I said, "Yes, I'm from Trinidad. What are you doing here?" So I told her. And I told her what was my plan. She said, "When you get to Trinidad, come and see me at the office. Because we would like to encourage, this sort of initiative and that sort of thing." And when I got to Trinidad, just what she asked me to do, I did. She asked me to put a proposal together, go to the multiculturalism department where I met with Mr. Lincoln Douglas at the time. Mr. Douglas felt it was an excellent idea, the fact that we had girls from Costa Rica, Switzerland, America, and was coming to Trinidad and Tobago. So the people stayed at the Hilton Hotel, where we also had to pay another 19,000 US for accommodation, meals, and all of that. You know, Mr. Lincoln Douglas found it was necessary to have the girls with their, I think it was the police escort. And so he went, he called the traffic branch asking for that assistance, seeing that the delegation is in Trinidad and Tobago. At this time, while I'm explaining, I also would like to send my gratitude to the Trinidad and Tobago media, who some of them met me at the airport as a returning Trinidadian and was very excited to carry the news and so on. Okay. We also had the Ministry of Tourism on board and the National Lottery, but unfortunately, the National Lottery had promised to give the girls their prize monies and told us that at this time that they don't have money after they would have taken full front stage promoting and advertising Miss Plus Size Universe in Trinidad by having their motorcade in Point 40 with all the girls on board. We've had Channel 21 that came from Canada with their expense to carry live coverage on what is happening in Trinidad and Tobago, right? To my greatest surprise, that video was sold. And if you would like to subscribe and whatnot, you had to pay a substantial amount of funds to go in to see Trinidad and Tobago with that pageant, where we did our production and was not paid, but other people benefited from it. I leave it like that because those people paid. It was a 5-member crew that traveled with their own airline ticket and came to Trinidad and cover everything. And I think that the Trinidad and Tobago media as well took front stage, and they have been promoting. All right. Now, tonight I would like to address the situation and I would wait for my questions from Wall Street, but just making that introduction so you understand where we are coming from. So I'd wait for Wall Street to ask the questions.
Right.
Thanks.
So Pearl, we gotta go for a break in another few minutes, right?
Yes.
Um, when is the event going to be held? The event is going to be held this year, right?
Yes. It's an annual event. It's going to be held in November this year.
And preparations are already underway, for
Yes,
this event.
already underway. All right. So before
Now,
you go for your break, I just needed to indicate that there was um, some media report that is circulating, and when you get back, we would like to give you the true story on what is happening. All right.
yeah,
So
we'll flush that out when we come back. So
yes,
what we're
thank
going to
you.
do? We're going to go for a quick break. It's in the village with the
Yes.
Dad Trippers on WZYE 95.9 FM. It's Professor Wall Street and Uncle Tommy, and we have with us Miss Pearl Williams, the owner and operator of Miss Plus Size Universe. So if you
Yes.
want to be part of Miss Plus Size Universe, you gotta report to Pearl.
Yes. All right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you have to go through Pearl.
All
And the other
right.
name, Pearl, you
Mm-hmm.
know. Pearl is not platinum, you know, it's Pearl. We're gonna go for a quick break. It's in the village to the Dutch
Okay,
plus
thanks.
95 FM. Stick and stay. We'll be right back after
Okay.
the show. We're gonna-
Thank you.
We'll be right,
All right.
we'll be right back.
You're listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. You are listening to WZYE LP 95.9 FM, the most influential name in Caribbean radio in the tri-state area. Broadcasting from East Orange, New Jersey, the most influential name in Caribbean radio. WZYE 95.9 FM.
This is oh Lord, Trinidad and Tobago. This is DJ Bravo. I'm hurting, you know. This is a sad place. My country turned into a sad place. When I look around, it's only sad face. Our country turned into a sad place. All I see in front of me, nightmares turn into reality. Like somebody build a monster factory. Parliament up against parliament economy. But let the moderators in another body in a dream. Somebody girl child missing, another rape again. And next road stain with somebody's sunburn. Who take the S out of Port of Spain? This is a sad place. My country turned into a sad place. When I look around, it's only sad face. Our country turned into a sad place. Now with the love, with the vibes, with the hope. Now tell me something, how we really want we cope. When the children breathing in too much gun smoke. And the Coast Guard can never see a boat. Yes, I'm like some goats when they come looking for votes. Say to empty promises, reading like a horoscope. Justice for sale in a fat envelope. Politically, all the answers is a joke. This is a sad place. My country turned into a sad place. When I look around, it's only sad face. Our country turned into a sad place. All I see in front of me, nightmares turn into reality. Like somebody build a monster factory. Parliament up against parliament economy. But let the moderators in another body in a dream. Somebody girl child missing, another rape again. And next road stain with somebody's sunburn. Who take the S out of Port of Spain? This is a sad place. My country turned into a sad place. When I look around, it's only sad face. Our country turned into a sad place. It doesn't matter the religion, the color, the creed, or the race. It's our responsibility to take care of our place. Champion.
Of course, we are back with you. It's in the village with the Dad Triplets on WZYU 95.9 FM. We come to you every Tuesday, Thursday from 7 to 10 p.m. Trinidad time. And of course, 6 to 9 p.m. USA time. And our guest tonight is Miss Pearl Williams, who is the owner and operator of Miss Plus Size Universe. Yes, folks, that's Miss Plus Size. So, Pearl, I know
Hi.
that there have been some discussions in other media regarding some things that happened
Yes.
regarding Miss Plus Size Universe. So kind of bring us up to date on what exactly happened and where do we stand with that.
Okay. Well, I would like to start from what really trigger off all this nonsense and this falsehood. Last year, our show postponed more than twice last year due to the system, the weather system. And of course, we've had struggles with sponsorship. You know, our government here people who support culture and the culture movement, and unfortunately that they did not have a budget to share with us, and we understood that because it is the truth. However, we felt that as a private organization, or let us say like it's a private business, let us use that word, or a brand, that we felt we can move ahead and obtain sponsorship, so we've done so. However, I believe that the issue is mine, and I feel that the problem that I'm facing here, it is mine. I mean, I created that problem. I say this to say that normally the average person would have gone through proper screening of women, whenever they are putting on or staging or hosting pageant of this magnitude. But Wall Street, as women of color and Black people, that we realize that some of our women are struggling silently without speaking out and creating this platform. The criteria and what's not is what I sort of minimize a bit. And when I say minimize, Miss Universe, they do have a very high standard where you must have a level of education. Your criminal record, you need to be clean, a criminal record or police record. You must be in good health and what's not. Those were the criteria, that you have a special height and weight and what's not. So we've had all of that. But we say to some women that, it doesn't matter whether you have kids or you are married, that we set up this empowerment platform, so that we can show the diversity of women, not only slim women, but flat, according to these people, plus size, not the word fat, right? So we've done so. Now, the issue began when I started accepting women without any sort of experience. And then you have the platform that a lot of people are staging these village pageants and what's not looking at proper licensing, accreditation, and all of that. So whatever little experience they've had, they came with that to the show and not understanding the quest and the core of pageantry. Now, for the first time, I sat down and did a feasibility and did a forensic to see what my problem was. My problem is that I should have, kept the standard of Miss Universe, because that's the word, Miss Universe. And I decided to relax it a bit, and that got me into some hot water. Now, we've had the show. We've gone on, wrote a letter to the Commissioner of Police asking for permission on the street to have our loudspeakers. We wrote to the Prime Minister. We've had a program and just about everything. Good structure, everything. One of the problems that we are faced with, and you must identify our economic situation that is straight across the region, that does not give us the opportunity to successfully move forward in terms of finance. But we believe when an organization could work under pressure with limited resources, that's when you know that, you have the ability outside of that. So, I capitalize on that, right? Now you have some women out there approaching their government, and this is what happened. In Grenada, we've had Miss a contestant, the winner, who JBN Television reached out to me to ask if they can send their broadcasting, the newscast personnel to be our MC. I accepted that. And we also had a second person from Grenada ask us to be, a judge on the show. So we felt that, it is in the Caribbean, so we have mixed people, some from, one from Grenada, the other one from St. Vincent and Grenadines. So you expect balance on this, right? I was told that those girls asked for $17,000 to have them prepare, because the invitation they got, there was a girl before and that girl could not make it. So they had girl number 2. So she had just a short time to prepare. And Wall Street and the audience, I'm saying to you guys, I accepted that. And I went out of my way to ensure that these girls are comfortable, given the situation from the year before when we had this terrible bad weather that we could not do anything. Now, I have a lawyer. I've had the media, at the time it was our Senator, Mr. Bala, and who is now the press secretary to the Prime Minister, present, and also one of our MC. We've had legal aid from the Ministry of Legal Affairs. And so we had these people from different organizations and different government agencies present at the show. And when I saw an article recently done by Alberta News, I will say to you up front, this gentleman is having an issue with me. The fact that I'm not only involved in pageantry, that I have two magazines, one being Status Publishing, that focuses on men's success and personal development and so on. That is why the last time that I spoke with you, I would have had you on the cover. So some of the ads that this gentleman is not having on his publication, he saw me as a threat. And this is not the first time, and he's the only newspaper have been writing. I came to St. Vincent and revolutionized the fashion industry and the pageant industry. That I was able to send 17 Vincentians all under my steership. They're all winners. And our prime minister will testify to that if he's looking. I send the invitation for quite a lot of persons tonight. I was able to dress girls, take them off the streets, counsel them through rape, incest, and all of that. My house, when I first came here, was like a community center. I work in every community trying to put little girls' dress on and their pants and was not counseling them, finding jobs locally and internationally. You would not see the ANN News or Alberta News writing about those things. I am a costume designer, interior decorator. I am sitting as the ambassador to the World Humanitarian Organization. I am a member of the Mass Ban Association, and the list goes on. The list is so long, I don't want to bore you with all of that. It is not necessary. But to say that, some of the awards, I sit here with 25 awards, all international, with 2 locals being the top agent for the former British American insurance, selling $6 million in 6 months. I also voted and have 2 international awards from America. None of that was on our newspaper. The last news that I got, that I saw in Trinidad newspaper, when I was called and said, Pearl, you on the news? I said, for what again? They told me that they gave me some award in the same capacity of the Jamaica Prime Minister. And that came from Pearline Lawn, a very powerful doctor in South Africa, right? And so all of those things that you would not seen on the newspaper, what we saw was American news carrying this thing. I think it was a Metro newspaper and Island Life and all these people outside of Trinidad and Tobago. And also, Trinidad carried the article, but not in St. Vincent. You didn't find it necessary to promote any sort of positive vibe according to the people or positive achievement. But you found 2 ladies who knows nothing about pageantry, and just what came out of their mouth, you decide to publish. Now, the sort of gutter journalism that we are practicing in the entire region, that anybody can go to StreamYard and was not and talk a lot of garbage, we can find ourselves in serious issues, because I'll say to you tonight, this would be a legal matter. All right. This man went ahead to say, in details, that the show is a scam. Now, how the show could be a scam? We visited the Prime Minister office, who spoke to all the ladies, sending greetings to the Prime Minister and the girls' respective country. If you is a scam, you can't try that. The Prime Minister will not, based on the whatever it is, right? We've also done that in Trinidad and Tobago. We wrote a letter to the Governor General and so on. To be honest with you, whatever link that man have, the Prime Minister, if you go back to our article, say, Pearl, this is an impromptu visit. Normally, you will write us a letter, but we didn't see that letter. However, we can't turn you back. Let us move with it. I've had the girls coming out of Trinidad struggling for sponsorship, that the girl missed her flight. I had to set back my program to accommodate the girl. Miss Dominica also had a tremendous issue when I spoke to the Prime Minister wife of Dominica, who told me that they didn't have a budget, but however, they would like the young lady to leave. She arrived on the night of the show. So our program was, affected based on the appearances that the girls have to make prior to the show, And this gentleman, continue to play with my integrity by placing these things that Miss Plus Size Universe is a scam. Tell me tonight, what is a scam? When you have John Public, the Prime Minister office, other government agencies, and, everybody else that knows about the show, this is our 12th year, all right? If you go on certain site right now, I was able to have franchise, Nigeria, Zimbabwe, Brazil, India, Czech Republic, South Africa, if you go online, you will see that our partnership, we are aligned to these different countries who are setting up their local leg of the competition to send to the winner, to send to the finals. I thought, being a Trinidadian in the region where we are looking for tourism and that sort of thing, this would be a product that we can run with when we talk about pageant tourism, fashion tourism. And I felt as a young woman with this level of pride to showcase our ability as people of color in the Caribbean that it would have taken off to the point. But this gentleman sit to his leisure to say this is not happening. All right. As I speak, we've had Costa Rica, Switzerland, Germany, Italy, and these people are already inquiring about the show. But when you go out there and put these sort of article on Google and other places, it is interfering with my integrity. And tonight, I just wanted to say, it is a serious crime to go out there and fabricate falsehood. And you have the people who sit every day without nothing to do and start sharing that stuff and what's not on your own black brother and sister. What do you expect? You know, we talk about cyber crime and what's not, and I like to send a strong message, whether it's a cybercrime unit internationally or locally, that we must take a serious point and a position where this is concerned, because sometimes people say the name is the only thing that they have. But why would you go out there to stigmatize? Now, the girl said she did not get her prizes. What we felt on the night, the show that that I host, the rain came so badly that a lot of people. It was our national independence of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And so there was a very big expo because they were celebrating the 40th anniversary of independence. So obviously the media went because the prime minister was present. They've had their parade on the road. We did not have the media coverage that we expected because this is a national parade and was not the independence. So they've had 15 cameras on the street. All right. These girls come in and they look at everything and start going out there reporting they didn't see this, they didn't see that, they didn't see the other. If you are a participant, your business is participating. But you are acting as though you are an investor, that you invest your funds, and what you did not see that you're totally dissatisfied. All right? We came through a volcano. We came through COVID and dengue and all these things where people living outside of their homes and whatnot, right? And we were still able to meet some people to have hope and to say that our women have a platform and a space, and at the same time that we can be entertained with so many sadness in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. It pierced my heart to see some of the very people that I would have worked with, created opportunity, jobs, and was not, are commenting online. It tells me that the people of color that we lost, we're very spiteful and bitter. And my biggest thing tonight is to find out, when did we get like this? What happened? Why our people are so vindictive and going out there, and the lies are the thing that is spreading and not the truth. So my quest tonight to say that we have no knowledge about the craft, the lies and the falsehood. you know it is totally wrong, it is incorrect, and I sincerely hope that people will refrain from this sort of poor crafted structure content that is being promoted. And we do hope that some of the so-called journalists would realize, if you have a summary of these things to say where did it start and where it end, we all over the place. you know so it is very sad. Now, with the prices, when we realized that the rain fell and it affected our audience and what's not, the patrons, the sponsors, the MC, the entertainers, the type of rain we should consider on that night a mini storm. That is what we had. So when we saw what was happening, we decided, look, let us move forward with the show with the limited resources. And then let us put on a prize giving function later, right? The show was in October. November, I fell sick, as Wall Street knew that I had no voice at all with the flu, terrible flu, headache, joint pain, sorry, could not move. The winner is supposed to sign a winner's contract and reign for 1 year, which she refused. We had a scholarship from the university in America, along with 10,000 US dollars, and you have to reign for the year. Every quarter, we give you a payment. That in our contract is a legal contract, which was done by one of our leading lawyers in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The lady said that she cannot sign the contract because there's something to be adjusted. I said, when we talk about fraud, is when the lawyer draft a document, should we go as civilians to a legal document and make changes to accommodate you? You in my pageant, you entered my pageant with my terms and condition. You agree to participate. And now that you win the pageant, you get to a stage now that you are telling us what you want and how you want it done. We don't operate like that. My intention tonight is to dethrone this girl. We are trying to restore womanhood, back in our society, manners and respect and all of that. All women are walking the street naked. So we believe by crowning one of our empowered women to go out there and make a difference in our community, you act like desperate gangsters. And I would like to send a strong message to all the directors throughout the region to be very vigilant about the quality women that they accept into their program. All right? Because it is a program of warfare. It's no longer pageantry. I have never seen women that would use a platform which they should develop and enhance themselves and have a story to tell, could go out there and practice this sort of falsehood and this darkness. It is a shame on the people of our color. And we ask people to refrain from this. All right? I think I speak enough Wall Street.
Where
So,
where do we start? Where are we currently as
all right.
far as
Yeah.
the person who won, and what is
Okay.
exactly the status?
So what I did today, I've gone to the cyber unit at the criminal department, the CID, and asked them to remove that article. It is totally false. It is falsehood, the whole article, to remove it. I've also engaged in one of the lawyers that I called from Trinidad and Tobago, and I'm going to make this a legal issue. And when this message gets to the other people, I guess they will refrain from, this sort of practice. All
So
right.
have you?
It is not a situation where we decide to have a pageant without rewarding our contestants.
So the
Yes.
issue is that
Go ahead.
the winner didn't
You was
think,
asking a question?
the winner didn't think that she was the winner didn't think that she was given her prize, and she's questioning why she wasn't given her prize.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And
Now, as I said,
so
Wall Street.
by her not
Go ahead.
yeah, so by her not giving
Can
by
you
her not
repeat
getting a
that?
prize. No, I would say by her
Mhm.
not getting the prize, she decided to go to the media
Yes.
and whatever,
Yes.
for whatever reason, whatever it is. But now, were you in communication with her with respect to what happened as far as the price is concerned?
Yes. Now, is no way that we can have a price given without you signing a legal contract to reign for one
Okay.
year. It's null
All
and
right.
void, right? That was delayed because she refused to sign the contract. That's one. Number two, the university who offered the scholarship would have asked, and then I also have voice notes. I have text messages to that effect to show you. And she also refused. They asked for time to read the contract, which I gave them the time and was not. You know, and I said to them, if we are putting on or hosting a prize giving ceremony, that not the organizers, all right, the sponsors are going to send a representative from their business to hand over that prize. So the prize is not in our hands; it's in the sponsor's hand. So they want to show John public that they are supporting women. So during that prize giving function, they come with the checks or the cash or whatever to hand over, hoping that the media will be there present to show that they are giving back to society. Now, I would have reached out to that girl to say that I had the flu right after the show, sick to the point that I've gone to one of the utility company and they had to organize transportation, can't stand or anything. I called my delegates indicating that and asked them to allow me to get better and let us come up with a date. Also, that when I called the National Lottery chairman, who was the owner of the venue that we host our show, we've had our show, he said that there was a tournament put on by the St. Vincent. I don't know if it was an independent one or if it was a foreign project or a foreign match. However, the space was already confirmed to be given to somebody else. And I indicated that. I called and I indicated that. However, the 3 girls came online. It was 2 because one was a medical student. And they asked the question. And tonight I am playing all those videos for the police and all little evidence that we've had. They went on on WhatsApp and tried to remove it. But guess what? The police have everything, to justify the innocence and the plot to get rid of this pageant. But I'll say this clear to them. This was my dreams. And unless I violate the law, I intend to have a bumper show next year, with or without your stupidness that you want to put out. When you ask the question why some of our artists are not in Trinidad or in the Caribbean or whatever it is, they always fight in some battle. I remember Wendy Fitzwilliams, who tried to put on a Caribbean top model, went through the same dirt like me. You've had Pat Garcia, where everybody told the entire region that Pat is a fraudulent person. We've had Jackie Coonhow in San Fernando, outstanding woman. You understand me? That worked so hard, and she was the person who created Miss Giselle Aron. And we always have to be fighting these battles. Who is not lesbian if they're not doing this, or if they're not doing that, they're fraudulent. Don't bother with them. They're trying to make money. Mr. Harper, who is on this program, will tell you. I've spoken to Mr. Harper. Mr. Harper told me what was going on in Trinidad. I asked him, would you like to carry the brand? When Mr. Harper set up his page, before Mr. Harper could even think about casting any of them, all you don't go to that man, he and Paul in collusion to make money and all, don't pay out a cent. Don't go to none of this woman, think this woman is a criminal and all this other thing. To see our own people. That is why the people from Elite and other organizations come to the Caribbean and tell our local people, if they would like to be a part of anything, that they have to pay XY amount of money, $3,000-$4,000 to be a part, because they look at us as third world countries and some monkeys, so that when they come down, they can call for what they want. Why is it it's time that we create our own brand as Caribbean people and go out there and present? We have the capacity, we do have the experience. So Mr. Harper, if he's online at all and he's a man of God, he will. So we have started a dialogue with Mr. Harper, stating that, we'll give Mr. Harper our franchise. It is not paid for or anything of the sort. Mr. Harper has the Facebook page and what's not, says, Pearl, as long as I can find the resources, we will buy your franchise. But in the meanwhile, we need to cast our women and what's not. Up comes Miss Trinidad and Tobago, coming from Trinidad, told us, Miss Joanna O'Carroll, told the people in Trinidad under no circumstances that you guys go to Miss Williams' show and don't give JP Harper any funds or anything like that. They're 2 crooks looking for money. Now, I'm in this industry for 40 years. I just explained that to you. And this is my 12th year in international pageantry. And I am so pleased to let you know that we've had Nigeria again, Brazil, Costa Rica, Zimbabwe, India, all those countries present. And we've never had a show in Trinidad and Tobago with that sort of prestige from these international countries. We had Switzerland. I remember TV6 interview us morning edition. And they asked Miss Costa Rica, are you Costa Rica? She said, yes, seriously. She thought it was people living in Trinidad, But the Trinidad government, I would say thanks to the Kamala Bissessa government, who made sure that the girls came to Trinidad and was very comfortable. And they went out of the way to say that they are going to host with style. Now we had a diner from the Prime Minister office who asked me to work along with me, find the contacts of my girls, invite the same girls, set up a thing that called Miss Plus Size World, right? That came from United States and was not, and started, oh, you don't go to Pearl is this. So I can see clearly this is confusion. And I'd like to say to our people, right, that you need to go out there and create your own product. We can no longer sit in the government and say the government should do this for young people, and that's what we're creating, our own brand. We expect that the media house, the sponsors, and everybody can come on board and let us create a product that persons can go out, and represent their brand and can present something that is tangible, and we could have built that program, that project, until people started traveling from different countries coming in to see this pageant or to be a part of this pageant, and you are trying to block something like this when our hotel doors are closed, when we are using this pageant to make a meaningful financial contribution to the government of Trinidad and Tobago, also the hotels, what are we doing as a people, right? The creative art industry, Trinidad and Tobago is out front with our artists, our writing, our expression and everything. Why it cannot remain? Why we are always going out there to beat and beat up on our own people? Why? You know, so you get to St. Vincent. Imagine these people are calling from Trinidad to St. Vincent to tell the people don't participate. Call outside of St. Vincent, outside, or they don't participate. I remember Wall Street. I want to say this because I know that the traffic on this program would be something else. All right, because I'm going to share it. A lady came from Trinidad and Tobago, offered me $10,000 for her to win the show. Pearl, I don't want anything from this. I just want a title. And was not. I did not accept the $10,000. The lady won the show outright. And she is the one who going out there to keep her title, to go out there and con people to say, if you want me to make an appearance on your show, you have to pay X, Y, Z. So that was a threat to her. So she kept the title and didn't want anybody else to have that title, you know? So from the time this lady here or somebody make mention that they're a contestant going to that show, she cut them down because she need to keep this position where she can go out there and continue making money with our brand. This is totally wrong. I sincerely hope I spoke with Christopher Nathan, who is a pioneer in this fashion industry, who was once our creative director in Trinidad and Tobago, to say it is time that we confront CARICOM or to write to them to say that you cannot go out there scamming, according to these people, as the word that the lady used, right? Without any certification, whether it's a CVQ, yes or no, you know, you must be certified. You must declare your funds and what you are doing and that sort of thing. It either have to be women empowerment or to give some objective. What are your objective? But don't go out there exploiting women. I have never done so. I created more opportunities for women worldwide, and everybody knows that, you know. And Wall Street, you would not believe, BBC News in South Africa reached out to me. You know, all the news, even I think CBS in United States and all of that. You're not seeing all of this, but you would see that Miss Williams tried to scam. In what capacity? Does it say that if you postpone your event from one given day to the next, that it is a scam? Is that the mindset of the journalist who wrote? Now, on Christmas Day, this guy called me. Miss Williams, we had some allegations and we'd like you to prove yourself. I said, okay, then call my lawyer and ask what you need. He said that my lawyer said that she didn't even know the show come off. To this evening, I showed them the full conversation with the lawyer and was not. You understand me? So this was a planned falsehood that was orchestrated and to go out there to make me look as though I'm a criminal, and I'm not a criminal. All right. John Public in St. Vincent and the Grenadines will tell you for the last 40 years, there's no community that I've ever, segregate and say I'm not working. I work in every community. I give my service free of charge without any fees. You know, I go out there and represent. I've even had a woman conference in New York where we had the mayor of New York asked me to return to New York because they want to encourage programs like this. We've had the First Lady of India. All right, we've had the Nanny Circle, and we've had Judy Boyce from Barbados and what's not giving that conference. The Mayor of United States gave us a certificate with the logo of American government and congratulated us. This was on every newspaper in America. If you can go back and look online, and you would see this. All right. So after all these wonderful programs, I was also voted Pageant Director of the Year in 2001, right? And so I sit here with 25 awards, being able to send out 17 girls out of St. Vincent, all winners, you know, and these information are on Google. How at this point, after all these years, you are telling our audience that Ms. Williams, whatever she does is a scam and it's a crook, whatever.
So, Pearl, right? So going forward, right?
If I call you Wall Street, and say, you know, Wall Street, I hear something and this and that, and I start writing without you finding doing investigating journalism, or what you want you're a journalist who can investigate and come with a balance to present. It's all right, Ms. Williams said this, but you said that whatever today is a balance. You took a story and just put it out there. This is where we reach to as a people, that right now we have no standard at all for our journalism. I mean, for journalism practice, that we can pick up anything and write and ridicule and blacklist people without a cause. That is where we are right now. And if that is what it is, sad be our portion. All right. And I would like to
Go
go ahead. Go ahead.
ahead.
Yes.
So you said you would like to.
Yes. I would like to meet with some of the pageant directors, Trinidad and Tobago, Miss World, Miss Universe, some of the other regional pageants, and so that we can set up a conference, a live conference, to let people know that the sponsors are very upset with the sort of mentality and the attitude towards sponsorship. So they're not going any further with that. The reason being that everybody who participated in a pageant becomes a professional overnight and start hosting pageants without understanding the core, the responsibility. Each time a young lady leaves her home, with her parents, to travel without insurance, without proper accommodation and what's not. We talk about human trafficking, where our little girls are going. Some of them, they really would like to have something to look well, so they sleep around and what's not, just to get on top so that they have the popularity. Where are we going with this? This is a criminal act, and I sincerely hope that from today that we can see a difference in pageantry. We as directors are hoping that we can train our little girls and boys personal development, how you sit, how you go to the community, how you pick, or choose a different platform and advocate. Either it's for HIV and AIDS, cancer awareness and what's not. We can speak to our youths on the street, and that is their duty for the entire year, to find a platform and advocate for that platform, setting up programs and so on in your community. So it's just not go on the stage and become beautiful. You should be able to be articulate. You should be able to go out, with and have a voice and advocate, proper execution, making sure that you are in school speaking about the journey that you walk, and try to inspire our youths on the block. Our youths are on prostitution on the street, right? To try to make changes rather than going out there and creating more element. And you're talking about aggression for criminal activities. Why would you go out there and say that you didn't get your prize when we all agree that we are going to have a professional prize giving? Wall Street, our flyer and our tickets. I wish I can put my hands. I wish I can put my hands right now on one of the tickets or the flyer that I have right now, to show you that this is already on media, showing our prize giving function, right? And this girl probably need some desperate money before her time. So she intend, why Miss Williams waiting on February? Said, host Meister, but you are saying that you did not receive your prize when we all agree to have our prize given at a later date.
So,
right?
so Paul,
Can I have one of the flight ticket?
So
It's in my
what
computer.
where do we go from here? What's the end game as far as this is concerned with this young lady?
I would like
when you have
the
a few
media.
minutes.
Yes.
What's the end game? What's the end game?
Okay, I would like the media to thoroughly investigate any complaints that they receive and have a balance and practice. Please remove politics and hate and according to these people, falsehood from the media and carry the correct story. All right? Stop using the media to assassinate people's character without a cause. It is wrong. And I consider it to be a criminal element. But here is what this is our prize giving function on the 24th of February. How could you believe that we can have a show and not reward our contestant? These are our tickets. Let me bring it up very close to you so that you can see. All right, $170. It's a fashion show and a prize giving function. All right. So when you go out there to let the media know, this is the situation. Miss Williams haven't given us our prices and what is totally wrong. In my closing, I would like to thank you and your team for hosting me on this program, but to join with me to discontinue that sort of practice going out and blacklisting and carrying falsehood live and destroying and segregate young people. It is totally wrong. It is a strong element of criminal activity, and it must be, should I use it, there should be a campaign on that. We don't think that right now that what we call defamation of character, the penalty, it is satisfactory. We need to revise that, because when people go out and you tell yourself, okay, I'm a businesswoman, and they start searching and they start looking at these things, they think twice. It is called damage. So I am making a concrete claim on the value of my show, and I'm going to send it to the complainant. I'm also going to send it to the media, because you have a right to investigate before you can take these things and put it out. And then you have people looking at you as criminals, you know? So desist from these sort of practices is not right. Whether it's with Pearl Williams or anybody else, we need to stop this. It is a profession. It is affecting other people, and calling someone a criminal. I believe that there's serious innocent people according to these people, in jail right now. So let us get together as a people, ladies and gentlemen. We do have a space to accommodate everyone, whether it's your craft, whether it's your occupation, yes or no. There is no need to blacklist and to assassinate people's character without a cause. I thank you so much, Wall Street, for this opportunity, and I hope that we can continue sometime in the future. We have a lot of things to show. We have a lot of things to talk about. You need to see the achievement from 40 years leaving Trinidad and Tobago. It is tremendous. All right. So
Well,
thank
Paul,
you very much.
yeah, I
Yes.
want to thank you for
I
coming
see
in
in
and
Pearl, I like to have what is it?
that's JB Apple.
Who's just Gary's number?
That's JB Apple. You could talk to him off
Oh,
here.
okay. Yes.
Yeah. So Paul, I want to thank you so much for coming here and giving your story. Now that
Yeah.
you've told your domain,
Mr. Harper, good
you
night.
can
You're such a comedian.
you can take this now
Yes.
and put it out in the public
All right.
space. You can hear your side of the story. Not just
Yes.
hearing one side of the story. So we thank you
Yes.
very
Thank
much
you.
for taking time to join us tonight, and
Thank
hope
you.
St. Vincent is nice and warm, and hope to see you again soon.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you, Pearl.
Thank you
All
so
right, take
much.
care. All
Yes.
right, bye bye.
Okay. Thank you. Bye.
So there you have it, folks.
Mm-hmm.
That's Pearl out of St. Vincent, the owner and operator of Miss Plus Size Universe. So if you know anybody plus size who want to enter into Miss Plus Size Universe, you can go on Pearl Facebook page at Good Morning SVG and send Pearl a message. Tommy, I wonder if you have a plus size for men, boy.
I don't know, but I wouldn't. I
Mr.
wouldn't.
Plus Size. You think I could enter that one?
I don't think you're plus size.
What is plus? What do you mean by plus size?
Meaning that you'll have to be a little bit big.
No, I thought like if you're wearing um a medium large or a large shirt, that could be considered plus size.
That's what you wear, sir?
So, but what about if you're 5'9.5", right, and you wear a large? I know plus. Or JB say over 200 pounds.
Okay.
So what I gotta do, Tommy? I gotta put on a heavy boots.
Both you and I have to do that too.
Ah, okay. Hey JB, how come they never plus size male, boy? Eh? Hey Tommy, how come they never plus size male?
I don't know. Us guys don't get the options. The ladies do.
So does only give women them options?
As far as I know.
Okay, plus size. But I think that's a great idea, though.
Yeah, this year's contest is being hosted in St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
I think so. This one is being hosted in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And people are coming from all different parts of the world. So it's not just like a local contest, you know what I mean? I think it's a great idea, to be honest with you.
it's a good idea. It's a real good idea. It's really unfortunate that the challenges she's been facing, with negativity.
But Tommy, if you're in the Caribbean, you have to be able to deal with bacchanal and confusion, man.
Especially Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah, that's part of the course. Yeah. Oh, JB, I must say, have one, just not in Trinidad. Why? Trinidad should have one, man.
Tobago would be a good spot.
Huh?
Tobago should be a good spot.
Well, JB made that suggestion. I think JB, you should make that suggestion to Pearl. Because she did teach, it might be a better idea for she. You know? So Tommy, this past few days have been serious days for Trinidad. We have the passing of the first Indian Prime Minister, Bajdev Pandey. We have the passing of Ochoy Charles. Some say he was the first THA chief, but I don't think Ochoy Charles was the first THA chief. I think some other person,
Let me take a quick break.
Okay. Yeah, I think some people say Ochoy Charles. JB said, Tommy, you need to spend a week with 9 contestants and see what happened. What happened, JB? I could imagine. I could just imagine. Yeah, so we had the passing of Ochoy Charles, former chief of the THA. We had the passing of Mr. Bajdev Pandey, first Indian Prime Minister in Trinidad and Tobago. We say condolences to both families. May their souls rest in peace. And then we have the property tax issue. I know. I honestly believe that. Well, no. I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that because I think when we see certain issues, we think these issues are important and we address these issues. So I don't think I want to say that we're not going to address certain issues. We're going to address issues that we think are important to the people of Trinidad and Tobago, especially issues that affect those that are most vulnerable in Trinidad and Tobago. And then people are going to ask the question, well, why all worry about what's going on in the United States of America? Folks, we just gave you guys the numbers. Let me give you guys the numbers again. Right? Look. In New York City, they had 380 homicides in 2023. In 2022, they had 429. It's down 11%. 11%. And in New York City, there is about 8.468 million people living there. Can you imagine that? So I would say New York is pretty safe. In New Jersey, they didn't have the number for 2023, but in 2024 was 254. And New Jersey has 9.2 million people. 9.2 million, 254. So we don't have to worry about Jersey and New York. Them in good hands. But when we go to TNT with 1.4 million people, and you have 570 something murders in 1 year and 613 murders in another year, that is our concern. What are the solutions? What solution the government putting in place to stem crime in Trinidad and Tobago? Oh yeah. I forget. Mean Gene, I am told that Ochoy Charles, Eugene, let me fact check Mean Gene. You know what? I'm gonna make a quick call. Let's see if I can call somebody to find this out. I want to call some. What time it is this? 8 night. It kind of late, but
8:47.
Yeah, no, it's 9:47 in Trinidad.
9:47 in Trinidad.
Yeah, I go respect the people's time. Who was the first THA chief in Tobago? Meaning there'll be some questions people saying. Um, okay, but Tommy, you want to try Google that?
That's what I'm going to do now for you.
Because I'm not coming up with it. What was the first
Who
THA?
was Tobago's first THA chief?
I gotta put Tobago House of Assembly.
Who was the first THA chief in Tobago?
Yeah, this is not giving me.
Who was Tobago's first THA chief?
Who can I call? Oh, I'm gonna call somebody. Only if you have boy. I'm gonna call somebody. I'm gonna call somebody. Mean Gene, you're making we call a person later. If there's anything, I will tell him. Mean Gene is to blame. Mean Gene is to blame. I'm calling a person, and I ain't taking responsibility for it.
Wall Street?
Yeah.
Ho Choi Charles was the first THA chief.
Okay. So quickly, Max James, you're live on WZYE 95.9 FM. We have a quick question for you with Professor Wall Street and Uncle Tommy. How are you?
I'm cool. I'm here.
Who was the first THA chief in Tobago?
Which was Charles. Robinson was the first chairman. And with the coming into being of Act Number 40 of 1996, the official title for chairman had moved, was replaced by the title chief secretary.
So, but can we say that Ian Robinson was the first chief? If they change the title, he was the first.
No, well, you see, it's a different form of legislation. Robinson functioned under Act Number 37 of 1980.
Okay.
And the legislation, that particular legislation was repealed and replaced by Act Number 40 of 1996.
Okay.
So they're completely different institutions. Before, when Robinson was chairman, there was an administrative council where the whole, what you call, executive, you wish, all the elected persons function together as a group to make, well, technically, well, to make those certain kinds of decisions. So they had the whole way called, what you call the administrative council. And there were no secretaries in law, but Robinson created the term secretaries. And then that continued for a little while, in 1980 to 1996. And then you had, with the change of the repeal and replacement by Act Number 40 of 1996, you now had in law secretaries. And of course, if you have secretaries, you will have a chief secretary, most naturally. And going back to the administrative council, because it is functioned as one body, you had a chairman and a vice chairman. So Robinson was the first chairman. But if you wish, and with the reintroduced to big House of Assembly, what you had was an administrative council. So with the newly reformed or reinstated assembly, you can see I don't know if I lost you. It seems that the connection got lost for a
No,
while.
no, no, no. We listening. We listening. You're right there.
Oh,
You're right there. We listening, man.
oh,
We like to listen.
okay.
Yeah, you know. We like to
Right.
listen. Yeah, you know.
So with that new institution,
Uh,
you had everyone acting as a body, whether opposition or whatever it is. And so act number 32 of 1980, not act number 37, my God, of 1980, you had the reinstatement of the Tobago House of Assembly, so that you could say in that regard, Robinson was the first leader. Be careful to say leader, um, but not chief secretary. He was the first leader when the Tobago House Assembly became the governing body in the Tobago landscape. So it would be safe to argue that he was the first leader, that is Robinson. But then, as I said before, the legislation was changed to Act number 40 of 1996. You now have secretaries legally in place by virtue of the legislation. And as I said before, if you have secretaries, you have a chief secretary. So Ho Charles was the first chief secretary, but he was not the first leader in terms of, because we have to be very we have to be very clear as to the distinction we are making. So Robinson would have been the first leader, or Ho was the first chief secretary.
Max, you know a fellow named, you ever know who heard of a fellow named Mean Gene Julian? Julian is his last name. His mother was, he said in 1980, Ho Charles won by a few seats over his mom, Mrs. Julian, I guess.
Beatrice, I think it's Beatrice Julian.
Yeah, we have a fella in here who that was his mom, and he's the one that said about the first chief secretary. But sometimes he's supposed to be from Tobago, and sometimes he just gives so much the information he just give. Sometimes is I'll leave it that way. So I still never call Max James. Max, somebody wanted to have a question here. Who is responsible for security in Tobago?
Say again.
Somebody asked a question. Who is responsible for security in Tobago?
No, the National Security Minister. That's a matter.
I thought it was Fali. I thought it was Fali.
No. Well, that maybe is perspective in the sense that he maybe have taken on that role because he may liaise with the police and other arms of security forces in Tobago. But Tobago doesn't have its own police force as yet. It was proposed, I think, some time ago, where we should have our own assembly police. But that has not come to fruition. And it is not a matter under the 5th schedule. It is a matter under the 6th schedule, where national security belongs to the central government or the government of Tobago.
So here's the next quick question. Given the upswing in crime, is there a need for a division of defense in Tobago?
There's a defense here up at Signal Hill.
Okay.
There's a little unit up at the Signal Hill
What are
area.
Two people? About 2 people?
No, I don't know if I'm not a military man, but I know that I don't know if you want to call it a platoon, but there's a significant, well, I'm not going to use the word significant, but there is a presence there of soldiers. They have been to the camp 1 or 2 times. So I know that there is an army presence there.
Yeah, okay. So Max, I don't want to.
And of course,
go ahead.
Of course, just as the police, we are not in charge of those things, and they can give an order from Trinidad to charge, invade your house, just as what happened with Fali and I think Zorisha and somebody else, so that those while they are there to keep, my suspicion is that to quell any kind of uprising and to manage Tobago, is has happened quite recently, where they use the arms of state, they're over national security, and the police officers came on the instructions from Port of Spain, of course, to enter the chief secretary's home on a miserable warrant.
So Max,
That is what it is.
I don't want to keep you any longer, but I would like to have you on Thursday. We had to work out the logistics with respect to getting you on, and we want to come in on Tuesday because we want to discuss some Tobago issues.
Yeah, I was embarrassed the other day. I couldn't get the connection.
Nah, man, it just happen all the time, man. It's happened. We had a person trying to get on tonight, same problem. They try for about 45 minutes, when finally they get it right. But don't worry yourself. I will talk to you. We go try to get it for Tuesday.
You have to have a simpler system for connecting.
Yeah, you got a simpler one. I will show you how to make it simpler.
Okay.
All right, man.
All right.
Thanks a lot.
Take care.
Yeah, bye-bye.
You're welcome.
All right, bye. All right, now, Mean Gene, you get one right, okay? You get one right. Take. Let me get you a round of applause. Tommy, I'm going to my round of applause, huh?
Yeah. Give him a round of applause.
Let me give him a round of applause. You get one right. You know what I mean? For all the time he's been here on WZYE 95.9 FM, he finally gets something right. All right, Mean Gene, take a bow. All right. You take win. You get one. Take one. Take it, Mean Gene. We get you a round of applause. All right. So do you can't say we didn't get you a round of applause. I mean, you've been here a long time, and we was always looking to try to get a round of applause, and finally, we was able to find the needle in the stay.
His stuff.
I'm gonna say stay hack, you know.
His stuff.
Needle in the haystack, right? The man, first round of applause. I even messed that up. Folks, we're gonna go for a quick break. And in the meanwhile, folks, put closing comments in the chat. Mean Gene, JB Harper, Nadia, if you're still there, Albert Montano. Put closing comments in the chat. Curtis Montrechard, Caribbean Soul, Hailey, Renwick. Put closing comments in the chat. We'll be right back, folks.
You're listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. You are listening to WZYE LP 95.9 FM, the most influential name in Caribbean radio in the tri-state area. Broadcasting from East Orange, New Jersey, the most influential name in Caribbean radio. WZYE 95.9 FM.
This is oh Lord, Trinidad and Tobago. This is DJ Bravo. I'm hurting it up. This is a sad place. My country turned into a sad place. When I look around, it's only sad face. Our country turned into a sad place. All I see in front of me, nightmares turn into reality. Like somebody build a monster factory. Parliament up against parliament economy. But let the moderator send another body in a drain. Somebody girl child missing, another rape again. An next road stain with somebody's sunburn. Who take the F out of Port of Spain? This is a sad place.
And of course, we are back with you. It's In the Village to the Dad Triplets on WZYE 95.9 FM. We come to you every Tuesday and Thursday from 7 to 10 p.m. USA time and 6 to 9 p.m. TNT, 6 to 9 p.m. USA time and 7 to 10 p.m.
TNT time.
Yeah. We're getting it all mixed up here.
7 to 10 in the Caribbean and 6 to 9 in the United States.
Yeah, thank you, Tommy. Tommy, this fella like he's in a correcting mode tonight, you know. You understand? You see where you put it?
The second one you get you.
Yeah, he said that wasn't the first time. We game one before. All right, take win. Take win was 2.
Right.
We game 2. Yeah. JB, let me give my next clap for that. Correct is right. Let me give my next one for that. All right. So now Mean Gene, you get 3. Take. Take win, Mean Gene. Take win. Yeah, man. Yeah. So Tommy, I think everybody should have received. Many people haven't received their property tax bill yet, you know. So Tommy, just before we go, if you don't receive your property tax bill, you have to pay it retroactive, right?
I don't know. I'll find out.
So like if you receive it in March, it's retroactive, right?
Well, when I do, I'll know.
All right. We should know that by Thursday. I wonder if Mean Gene know that. You think he know that?
Oh. He seems to know a lot, right?
I don't know, boy. Like the fella born on Noah's Ark, you know.
You sure?
Yeah, he was one of the captains on Noah's Ark.
All right.
You understand?
He was Noah's first mate.
Yeah, correct is right. You understand? So, folks, my closing quote is: you don't need a new year or a new day to start over. You only need a new mindset. From where I sit, this is it. The clock on the wall said that's all I like to stay, but I've got to go. Remember, hard work beats talent. When talent does not work hard, and for every 60 seconds of anger, you lose 1 minute of happiness. See you. Same WZYE time, same WZYE channel. Go ahead, Tommy.
Mine is if you don't have some self-doubt and fears when you pursue a dream, then you haven't dreamt big enough. And that's by Joe Vitale. Like I always say, become the change you want to see. You, the man in the mirror. However, if you're looking at a mirror and you don't like what you see, don't blame the mirror. Never look down on a person unless you're giving them a hand up. Love you all. Be safe. See you on Thursday. Good night.
There you go, Tommy. Thank you very much. So we have
You're welcome.
Mean Gene closing comment. Wall Street, by now you should know that they call me Mean Gene for a reason. Tommy, can you decipher that?
Yeah, because he's mean.
Mean Gene, you look for that.
That's the only reason why they will call you that.
But that's what it is. That's the only reason why they'll call you Mean Gene. You know? So, folks, we are out of here. We want to play. Do we have Juke Boy? How many more must die? Here we go. We're going to go out with Juke. How many more must die? Folks, thank you very kindly. See you on Thursday. Same WZYE time, same WZYE channel. Later. Bye-bye.
On the news each day, human lives are blown away. Mothers and fathers crying, burying their dead and dying. How many more, I hear them say? Death is the highest price. Death is the total sacrifice. Yeah, brothers rather commit suicide than continue with apartheid. I just beg me, Father, each day. Tell me, Father, tell me, how many more must die? How many more? How many more must die? How many more? How many more must die for liberty? Well, how many more before you set South Africa free, Mr. Botha? How many more must die? How many more, Mistress Thatcher? How many more must die? How many more, Mr. Reagan? How many more must die for their dignity? Well, how many more before you set South Africa free? Demand, I quote, is simply one man, one vote. But this was Mr. Botha's answer. Bullets, tear gas and murder. Every day is a massacre. Then he publicly stated his view. He said black people like me and you will always be dominated and forcibly subjugated, and will have no say in South Africa. Help we, Father, help we. How many more must die? How many more? How many more must die? How many more? How many more must die for their liberty? Well, how many more before they set South Africa free? Mr. Botha, how many more must die? How many more? How many more must die? How many more? How many more must die for their dignity? Well, how many more before you set South Africa free, Mistress Thatcher? Today is just a short fuse away from a total confrontation between the black and white man. We want with freedom, the people say. They have made it very plain. No more turning back again. Freedom is the only answer. No compromise, no surrender. Lord, I see it dead in South Africa. Help we, Father, help we. How many more must die? How many more? How many more must die? How many more? How many more must die for their liberty? Lord, how many more before you set South Africa free, Mr. Botha? How many more must die? How many more? How many more must die? How many more? How many more must die for their liberty? Lord, how many more before they set South Africa free, Mistress Thatcher? Now exposed for all to see. They're going to the greatest extreme to protect their racist regime while extending their sympathy to it. But history will denounce this shame. I say they're the ones to blame, protecting their vested interests, impeding the black man's progress, the so-called gods of democracy. Murder, Mr. Botha, how many more must die? How many more? How many more must die? How many more? How many more must die for their liberty? Lord, how many more before they set South Africa free.